only at Burger King.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd day of April, 2026, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, be you a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you are operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola and the Credit Union. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. From generation to generation, Coca-Cola is still a Cayman classic. And the Credit Union looks forward to serving the Cayman community for the next 50 years and beyond. Those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. Mr. Joel Wilson, our colleague here at Radio Cayman, big shout out to you this morning. All the best as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy and sometimes dangerous roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the distinct honor and pleasure of being your host. My name is Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. We have a beautiful radio voice, the one and only radio voice of Miss Susan Watson, waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number, which is provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. We have a WhatsApp number, 925-3261. Yeah, you can call us on that number as well as send us messages also. So, first of all, let's look at the birthday shoutouts this morning. Again, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes from generation to generation. Coca-Cola still a Cayman classic. And the credit union, they look forward to serving the people of the Cayman Islands for the next 50 years and beyond. First of all, we're going to look at yesterday's birthdays, since we didn't have a show yesterday. The 21st of April, Simon Watson celebrated his birthday. Michelle LeMay celebrated a birthday. Miss Karen Hyde, KK Hyde, celebrated her birthday yesterday also. Saw many happy birthday greetings going out to her on social media posts as well. And Mickey Henry also celebrated a birthday yesterday. And then today, Mr. Orville Daniels. You remember him? As a matter of fact, I believe Miss Susan, he was one of the announcers here on Radio Cayman as well at some point in time. Miss Susan, Orville Daniels, former employee of Radio Cayman as well. And also, Mr. Patrick Smith. Patrick, happy birthday to you today. He's celebrating his birthday as well. Miss Susan, you were telling me about another birthday? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, let's go back to that and point that out then. So, Mr. Simon Watson, he is the nephew of that beautiful radio voice, Miss Susan Watson as well. So, a little extra plug there to Mr. Simon Watson, Miss Susan's nephew, Mr. Orville Daniels. So, I'm sure that he will be celebrating Radio Cayman's 50th also with us. And Mr. Patrick Smith celebrating his birthday today. Of course, if you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will give them a birthday shout out, just like this person has just sent it and said, "Morning, Mr. Connor. Please wish my sweet pea, Renee Bryan, a very special happy birthday. Enjoy your day. I will see you after school from Grammy and all of your 19 cousins, sister, mom, and dad." Her dad will be there this morning, so he will say his share also. Happy birthday also to Lillian McFeel, better known as Miss Cootsie. Oh, happy birthday to Miss Cootsie, as well. Hope she's, feeling and doing much better as well. So, Renee Bryan, that would be then Mr. MP Kenneth Bryan's daughter. Okay, so she will get a birthday shout out now. So if she's on her way to school, if he's taking her to school, she will hear this. And of course, when he comes into the studio, I'm sure that he will give her another birthday shout out as well. Again, keep those birthday shout outs or any other momentous occasion coming to us right here on For the Record. And we are extremely grateful to our sponsors, Coca-Cola and the credit union. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. From generation to generation, Coca-Cola still a Cayman classic. And the credit union looks forward to serving the people of the Cayman Islands for the next 50 years and beyond. Let's look at what's happening locally in the Cayman Islands, and we will take a look at our local one of our local newspapers, Cayman Compass, and what are some of their headlines this morning. Mandatory recycling on the table amid the fire fallout. That is one headline. Another, jewelry store owner calls for more police protection after robbery. Well, we hope and we trust that they are doing their part as well to ensure safety. And one wonders, here's, it might be a little bit more costly, but these jewelry stores continue to display genuine items in their displays. Maybe they should think about having replicas of those items on display as opposed to the real items, that may save them some money, if they're robbed as well. Of course, one of the drawbacks that we have here in the Cayman Islands as far as security is concerned, security officers have limited authority, limited ability in terms of crime prevention, apprehension, and all of those things as well. Extremely ticklish, but we also know that there are persons who may have concerns about extending their authority beyond that, or even allowing them to carry any sort of offensive weapons, bearing in mind that the majority, I would say probably 99.99% of the security officers working in the Cayman Islands are non-Caymanian as well. So would you want to extend certain privileges, responsibilities to work permit holders that you may not want, that you currently don't extend to Caymanians? We know that some business persons, if they have a compelling case, may be able to have a licensed firearm, but again, there are limitations to its use, just as there are limitations to the use of firearms when it comes to those enforcement officers that are also have the ability to carry arms as well. So just saying that, my question is whether or not the jewelry stores are doing their part or sufficiently protecting their properties as well. Then there's another article here, 4 firefighters left at the landfill blaze site. So under control, only 4 firefighters left. And in conjunction with that, now we see that mandatory recycling is on the table again amid the fire fallout. Then there's an article about the chamber elects a new leadership at their annual general meeting. I think the name Christina Spratt is now the new president, and Mr. Garth Arch is the president-elect. I think let me make sure that I get that all correct. So there was a photograph here showing all of the members. And it is, yes, president-elect is Mr. Garth Arch. So he will be the next president, I would imagine, I guess. Yes, that's what it means there. Okay, let's go back and see another headline. Compass Media's Time Back wins CIMPA campaign of the year. And that has to do with the Compass's sharing of information over their publications over the past 50 years. I believe it says Compass Media Time Back Project, the Time Back Project, which shares images of Cayman and its people from the Cayman Compass newspaper. 60 years, sorry, I said 50, 60 years of archives has won the CIMPA's campaign of the year. And CIMPA, that's an acronym for Cayman Islands Marketing Professionals Association. I hate when they start these articles using the acronym and later on then they go on to tell you what the acronym stands for instead of stating that from the outset. They're assuming that everyone knows what these acronyms stand for. But huge kudos going out to the Compass in relation to it. It says that 9 campaigns were shortlisted for this year's awards by the Cayman Islands Marketing Professional Association, which held its annual conference and awards gala on Saturday, the 18th of April at Hotel Indigo. Let's see if it mentions. So it identifies Richie O'Carroll as the Time Back project leader. And let's see if it mentions other companies that may have been nominated, but not necessarily won. But what I wanted, oh gosh, have to go to a commercial break. I get so engrossed in these things and I don't even look up at the camera. Thankfully, Miss Susan is on the ball and she says, got to take a break, folks. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
When you join the credit union, you're not just a customer. You're a member owner with one equal vote. As we celebrate 50 years, our members continue to share the benefits. Enjoy strong dividends on shares, competitive loan rates, and the lowest lending fees on the market. Plus, we're the only lender returning up to 2% of loan interest to our members every year. For 50 years, we've helped Caymanians save, borrow, and build brighter futures. That's the credit union difference. Visit creditunion.ky to learn more.
This April, you could be heading to the 2026 World Cup. Coca-Cola is giving away 4 epic trips for 2, including flights, hotel, transfers, and tickets to see the 2026 World Cup matchups live. Catch world rank number 4, England versus Croatia, and defending World Cup champions Argentina as they take on Austria, courtesy of Coca-Cola. Grab any Coca-Cola product, Coke, Sprite, Fanta, Dasani, Smart Water, scan a QR code, or drop your entry in-store. It's that easy. Shop anywhere Coca-Cola is sold. Supermarkets, gas stations, convenience stores, and food trucks. Contest closes April 30th, and winners revealed May 8th on National Have a Coke Day. Coca-Cola, drink it in and live it up at the World Cup.
You hear that the VEG program taking applications again? What that is? VEG, man! The Minister of Tourism's program that helping Caymanians create new tourism products and services.
Oh, I had heard about that, yeah. My friend was one of the successful applicants from the last round. I might apply for that still.
Nothing wrong, child. After you got great ideas for things tourists would love to buy, try so check out the website rcayman.ky/VEDGP for more information and apply.
I going to do that right now.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have a few more birthday shout-outs here. This morning, this person says, good morning. I'm sending a special happy birthday today, the 22nd of April, to my wife, Mrs. Lavinia Ebanks, Nee Miller. Best wishes for continued blessings, health, happiness, and the grace of God from your husband, Mario, and the extended family members as well. Well, what a coincidence. I brought in this morning, of course, this is again courtesy of Miss Sharon Ebanks. I have to give her credit for this. And there's an article in the Northwestern magazine of 1975, August of 1975. And of course, who is on the cover of that magazine? None other than Miss Lavinia Miller. I'm going to put it up there. Hopefully the camera can pick it up, Miss Susan, as well. So that is extremely timely. And I brought this in this morning to talk, if time had allowed, the story about Radio Cayman as well that was featured in this particular publication as well. So again, happy birthday to Miss Lavinia Ebanks, nee Miller, coming from your husband and the rest of the family. Also, I have been asked to send out belated birthday greetings to Mr. Winston Watson, coming from his entire family, wishing you blessings and happiness, strength, peace, and joy. So happy belated birthday greetings to Mr. Winston Watson as well. Miss Susan, you were telling me something also? Oh, we do have a caller on the line, and we have about 8 minutes before we go to our 8 o'clock news. Let's grab that caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor, and good morning to your listening audience.
Good morning, good morning. How are you? I called your name earlier. I invoked your name earlier.
Okay, well, that's good news. As you know, we're coming on the show at 8:15.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my way, stuck in traffic, but we're on our way there. But I want to take this opportunity separately from my role as MP to wish two very special people a happy birthday this morning. And I'm going to start off first with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Turned 17 today. I'm so proud of her. She gives me so much joy. So wishing her a happy birthday. And then another.
And her name is Renee, right?
Yes, Renee Bryan.
Yes. We did get someone sent in a shout out to her as well.
Oh, good.
They beat you to it. Actually, I said, I was wondering whether or not she was in the car with you on her way to school listening.
No, she's actually studying for exams, so she's doing her A-level. So really, really proud of her.
Wish her well. Wish her well.
Thank you so much. The second person is one of my constituents, a very lovely, sweet person. I know that you know her, and most of Central knows her as well, Miss Lillian McFeel, who turns 90 years old today. Most of you may know her living in Palmdale. Unfortunately, she recently lost someone she loves very much, but thank the good Lord for continuing to bless her with more birthdays to come. I just want to wish her a happy, special birthday. A lot of people may know her as Gamo or Miss Cootsie.
Cootsie, yes. Uh-huh.
Yes. But her proper name is Lillian McFeel. So happy 90th. I love you, and may the good Lord continue to bless you with many, many more years to come. Thank you so much, OC, and I'll see you at 8:15.
No problem. Looking forward to that as well. Looking forward to it. We have a WhatsApp caller as well. Let's grab that caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. WhatsApp caller? Good morning. Morning. How are you?
Okay, sir. And you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. So concerning the government plan on making it mandatory now when it comes to recycling.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be best. I think I heard Mr. Mickey Hurlston mentioning this before too. I think there should be a recycling facility in every district instead of just putting it in just one district. I think that would also stop the arguments concerning putting it in one district. Let there be a recycling facility in every district. And I think the people in every district will take it more serious when it comes to recycling and realize the importance of recycling in order to not allow their district to become what has happened in Georgetown with the landfill there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be best that the government moving forward with recycling, to have a recycling facility in every district, and just keep all the garbage trucks stationed in those districts at all times, while they're operating and picking up these recycling bins and taking them back to the recycling facility, and then everybody in those districts are able to find work also when it comes to the recycling. Thank you.
You're welcome, caller. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to try to share, if time allows, more information on that as well. We have also been asked to send out happy belated birthday greetings to Pastor Winston Rose. He celebrated his birthday yesterday as well. Pastor Winston Rose, happy birthday to you as well. And we have another one, belated birthday shout out going to my lovely wife, KK, whose birthday was yesterday. That's coming from Mr. Ray Hides as well. And as you heard earlier, I did go back to what Miss Susan shares with me on Facebook, and did mention Miss KK Hides as well. So excellent. Keep them coming. And at some point in time during the course of the show, we will give those birthday shout-outs or any other momentous occasion that is occurring for your special person. Here's another one. Happy birthday greetings going out to my loving husband, Peter Quinlan, coming from Nicole. So, Mr. Peter Quinlan, your wife, Nicole, sending you happy pre-birthday greetings. So that means he's got a birthday coming up. Is it tomorrow? Is it Friday? He may get 2 shout-outs, because if you send one, if it's on Friday and you send it on Friday, we'll give him a shout-out again. Or if it's on Friday, if it's on Saturday, we'll give him a belated shout-out on Monday. So, he'll get 2 shout-outs as well, possibly. Very quickly, let's see if I can cover this in relation to what the government is proposing in relation to mandatory recycling. So the Compass article written by Mr. James Whitaker talks about the fact that government is preparing legislation that would give Cabinet the power to make recycling mandatory as it continues to grapple with the fire and environmental threat from the dump. Speaking at a West Bay community meeting on Monday, the 20th of April, Sustainability Minister Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes acknowledged that better infrastructure was needed around recycling, both to manage the fire threat and reduce the amount of waste going into the landfill. Her comments came as Department of Environmental Health Chief told Compass TV on Tuesday that the fire was likely started by a vape or cell phone battery discarded in household waste. This quoted as saying, "Someone brought that fire to us." That's a quote coming from Michael Hayworth, who's the Assistant Director of Solid Waste. Director Richard Sims said the department was on constant alert. When it comes to fires, it is something we are highly concerned about every day. This is a pretty long article. One question that I have asked, and I will ask it again as a rhetorical question, the pilot program that had been initiated by the previous minister, Minister Turner, in the Prospect area, where is that at now? Is it still continuing? Are there plans to expand that in terms of those special garbage containers as well. If you know anything about that, please share that information with us right here and For the Record. At this point in time, we're going to go to our 8 o'clock news, top of the hour. 8 o'clock news, please stay tuned. For the Record will be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news with members of the Progressive, the opposition in the studio. So don't change that dial. For the Record will be back shortly.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Another massive spike at the pump this week. According to the Utility Regulation and Competition Office, the average price of regular self-service gas has jumped another 28 cents to $5.69 a gallon. That's up from $5.51 last week. That means regular petrol prices have skyrocketed 67 cents in the past 4 weeks. The average price for premium self-service is up 19 cents from the last check on April 15th. To $6.11 a gallon, while diesel jumped a staggering 67 cents to $6.56 a gallon. Diesel prices have risen $1.05 in the past month. According to Offreg, you can get the cheapest self-service regular gas at Mike's on Walkers Road for $5.40 or at Kaibo Marina, where it's now at $5.38 a gallon. On the diesel side, Woody's and Northside has the lowest price at $5.40 a gallon, according to Offreg. Folks in Cayman Brac got hit again this week with prices spiking up an additional 10 cents to $6.24 a gallon for regular. Drivers in Little Cayman are still paying $6.96. The average price for regular gas in Florida has fallen 17 cents over the past week to $3.97 USD a gallon. You can find the full breakdown of local gas prices at offreg.ky. The Department of Environmental Health issues a public alert following the recall of brown sugar. The product, sold under the label Pan-Caribbean Sugar, may contain small metal fragments and is being removed from the local food supply. The DEH is coordinating with importers and retailers and is advising customers to avoid using the product. Packages can be discarded or returned to the retailer. Doctors Hospital is celebrating new recognition from the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce. Elizabeth Charles reports.
Chief Executive Officer Dr. Margot McCrae has been elected to the Chamber Council as the hospital receives a Chamber Champion Award. In a statement this week, Doctors Hospital says the dual award underscores its role in Cayman's business community and its support for national priorities. The Chamber Champion Award, according to a release, recognizes organizations that show strong commitment to the Chamber's mission, including workforce development, access to essential services, and quality of life. Doctors Hospital says Dr. McCrae's election ensures healthcare has a consistent voice at the Chamber's decision-making table. She became chief executive in March 2026 after more than 13 years in leadership roles at the hospital. Doctors Hospital calls the recognition a proud moment for its team and says it will continue working with the Chamber to support a stronger, healthier Cayman. For Radio Cayman News, I'm Elizabeth Charles.
And this year's In Style Fashion Week kicks off tomorrow, and founder Norma Ebanks is promising an action-packed event.
Instead of having the swimsuit resort wear welcome party, we're having a bridal couture exhibition. Then the second day is our gala, our Trailblazer gala, and then following our kids teen show. And there's excited because we might end up having maybe about 3 to 4 shows that day. So instead of having just the kids teen show, we're having huge designers coming, having their own show during the entire day. After that, we have our VIP, 6 o'clock, and then we have the main show at 7.
The multi-day event attracts local and international fashionistas every year and features models and designers who look forward to attending the Cayman Islands curated week of programming.
We have 3 plus-size designers coming this year. We have more menswear coming this year, and we have some huge kids designers on board this year. Not only that, we're having 8 to 10 different countries coming in for our summit. Speakers from all over the world.
For more information, head to CaymanInStyleFashionWeek.com. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Govinda Gill. EU ambassadors have approved a $100 billion loan to Ukraine after Hungary dropped its veto. Budapest blocked the cash when it stopped getting Russian oil through the Druzhba pipeline, which crosses Ukraine, but oil is now flowing for the first time in 3 months. At least 3 container ships have reportedly been targeted by gunfire trying to transit the Strait of Hormuz as Iran continues imposing restrictions on the key waterway. The BBC has verified 2 vessels that have separately come under attack by Iran's Revolutionary Guards. That's the latest BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio. Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise the motoring public of planned works by the West Bay Road and Blossom Way intersection starting Monday 13th April to Friday 24th April between the hours of 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. To facilitate the works, southbound traffic will be diverted into the center turn lane. Road crews will be on site to divert traffic, and customers in the area will experience no service interruptions over the duration of this planned work. Motorists in the area are strongly encouraged to drive with caution while we conduct the wastewater infrastructure works. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of its customers and the public as it works on its infrastructure and apologizes for any inconvenience caused.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. is brought to you by The Light Room. Tired of being unwell and struggling to find the energy and vitality to live the life you desire? Come get recharged from the inside out at The Light Room. Our non-invasive, holistic energy enhancement system detoxifies and energizes the body, enabling self-healing and balance. Book online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL, 38 Pasadora Place, GT.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 74%. The barometric pressure is 30.01 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 14 knots. Overnight low temperature was 79 degrees. Synopsis indicate a few isolated showers can be expected due to the presence of a prefrontal trough across the Cayman area. Moderate winds along with moderate seas are forecasted, and radar imagery shows showers in and around the Cayman area moving southwest. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures will rise near the mid-80s with a heat index of 96 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Pretty much the same for tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures dipping to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Low tide will be this morning at 8:54, high tide this afternoon at 1:47, and a low tide again tonight at 8:29. The sun will set this evening at 6:44 and will rise tomorrow morning at 3 minutes past 6. And the outlook is calling for a chance of sporadic showers due to low-level instability coupled with an upper-level trough Thursday into Friday. Also a decrease in winds and seas as the high-pressure system weakens over the western Atlantic Ocean. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Let's hear it for your Wildcat cheerleaders.
Aunt Angie, weren't you a cheerleader?
The best in the Western Hemisphere. Until I attempted that switch kick, double twist roundhouse.
Huh?
Exactly. I must have been in the air for 20 seconds before I fell into that snare drum. I set a world record, though, and thankfully I could trust the CG Medical Portal with my claims. All 37 of them.
The CG Medical Portal. Safe and secure. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
This April, the Cayman Islands come alive. Capella Music Festival 2026 takes over Camana Bay Saturday, April 25th. T.I.
Ready to the checker flag, ready through the red.
Robin Thicke.
We got the magic.
Adonia, Welshie Fire, Problem Child, Spencer Crandall, Nicotine Dolls, Ziggy Ziegler, DJ Stax, and more from 12 p.m. to midnight. Get your tickets now at CapellaMusicFestival.com.
The BCG vaccine protects against tuberculosis, a bacterial disease that affects the lungs and spreads through the air. Under the updated National Immunization Schedule, the BCG vaccine will now be offered only to individuals at higher risk of exposure because the risk of tuberculosis in Cayman Islands remains low. Vaccines help the immune system prepare to fight infection before serious illness develops, helping reduce the spread of disease in the community. Ask your healthcare provider about the updated schedule today. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability and the Public Health Department.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's check in with traffic. Lloyd Roberts Drive is flowing nicely. Coming from the West Bay four-way stop, moderate flow of traffic. Different story on Cool Road heading to Georgetown as traffic is slow moving. Expect some delays as you head on down to your final destination. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady traffic, as well as Agnes Way, Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is steady. Shamrock Road further down, traffic steady. Looking towards the West Bay area and the West Bay Road and for the Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions. Coming off of Esterly Tibbetts Highway, steady traffic, and continuing on to North Sound Road, Industrial Park area, moving at a moderate pace. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is moving on pretty good in both directions. And if you see any accidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Have a good morning and drive safe.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein-packed subs with 20 grams or more protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Got plant problems? DOA got solutions. The Department of Agriculture is proud to launch its monthly plant clinic, taking place every second Saturday, starting April 11th. Bring your samples and get professional advice on pests, diseases, and overall plant health. Perfect for home gardeners and commercial farmers alike. Visit doa.gov.ky/latest-news to learn more.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We will have our guests in the studio in a few minutes. Meanwhile, I will continue to share this article with you. Go. Grab your seats, young man. I was going to share this article in relation to the dump and government's announcement of a mandatory recycling on the table amid fire fallout, and the government indicating that it is preparing legislation that would give Cabinet the power to make recycling mandatory as it continues to grapple with the fire and environmental threat from the dump. And then there's a paragraph there about the link between dump fires and the lack of recycling as well. But we will hold off on that. Well, or it could lead up to a question in terms of when the Progressives were last in office, what was the status of the negotiations, or where were we at as far as the dump, recycling, or waste management in general. So, gentlemen, during the course of the show this morning, maybe we can talk about that if that's not already on your agenda. But let me say good morning, welcome to For the Record, to the Leader of the Opposition, Honorable Joey Hugh, Deputy Leader, Honorable Kenneth Bryan, and Member of Parliament, and the representative for the constituency of Red Bay, Mr. Roy Tatum. Gentlemen, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Morning, OC. Good to be back.
Good morning. Good morning, OC. Great to be back, and good morning to everyone across the three islands, and in particular those in Georgetown North. A very pleasant good morning to you. And once again, as I usually do, encourage people to take their times coming in and be safe on the roads. Mm-hmm. We have a couple of cruise ships in, so give yourselves a few more minutes.
Good morning again, Mr. Connor. Obviously called in earlier, so a special good morning again. Before we get right down into it, I want to get rid of one more birthday.
Go right ahead.
Shout out that I totally forgot. Another special lady to me, Miss Lucille Bustillo, better known as Miss Lucille Seymour, who cooks. She's originally a Seymour, but cooks that amazing food down in Scranton.
Okay.
Today is her birthday, so everybody go give her a call or go visit her and wish her a special happy birthday. Love you, Miss Lucille. Happy birthday.
Yeah, and I'll also say good morning again. We'll see. Good to be back. I haven't been here for a little while. So definitely it's good to be back here.
Good
with
to have
you.
you back. Even though we kept in touch we had you on the phone and everything, yes.
I mean, you might not have seen it, but I sent you something with regards to that question you asked earlier on with regards to the bins in Prospect.
Oh, yes.
But good morning also to my constituents in Red Bay, Wide Cayman Islands, and of course my friends and family in Cayman Bracken and Little Cayman. And I'd like to also say happy birthday to Renee. I heard you all talking on my drive in. And belated happy birthday to another lovely lady, Miss Adrienne Webb, who had a birthday yesterday.
Okay.
A very important person to us and a very important part of the PPM family. And I saw in a chat group where she said she had a wonderful birthday, which is good to know.
Great.
And just to say happy birthday also to anyone in my constituency who may be having a birthday today.
Okay. I wasn't ready for that. We normally do that at the end. It caught me off guard.
Well, Mr. Connor, obviously there's a number of things that have been going on lately, and we have a lot of things to talk about, but the most urgent one, and I think the leader will address that first and foremost, which is the national emergency around the fire, on the dump. Obviously our party is really concerned about this matter, but also the leader is definitely concerned from a constituency perspective. So let's start there before we get into the parliamentary matters that will be coming up next week, Wednesday.
Sure.
So we can start with that.
Yeah. Thank you, OC. I think, the first thing I'd like to do on that matter is congratulate the fire service on a job well done, and to also thank them for the work that they do. We often overlook emergency services until there's a time that we need them.
Yep.
And I can say to you that standing up on that Esther Tibbetts Highway, feeling the heat from that fire and looking at it, and then going into a meeting and seeing the confidence from the fire chief saying that his team will get this under control, I was a bit skeptical. But his professionalism and his updates were right on target, and as he said, they got it under control overnight. And once again, on behalf of the People's Progressive Movement and certainly the constituents of Georgetown North and myself, I want to thank them for their excellent work and their professionalism there. And I hope that those officers that ended up having to go for treatment, I hope they're recovering well. And I know that they have put programs in place to assist all of the officers that attended the scene with any issues they may have. OC, it's, I guess this is not political. I'm doing my best not to be political. When the fire broke out, I was a bit upset and made it very clear that it is unacceptable. I have been asking questions and updates from the various governments over the last 6 years. And I don't think a single session of Parliament goes by or an opportunity in Finance Committee or during budget that I do not ask questions and ask for updates. And I keep hearing that the plan that the Progressives had, the country could not afford it. And I heard things like it was not value for money. Well, when I looked at that fire and how close that particular tipping site is to the main road, and hearing the fire chief explain that their biggest concern was that the wind, which was not out of the normal levels, or not out of normal direction that it is coming from. Thankfully, the wind was blowing a bit more to the south. That if the wind swung around, there was a large tire pile, and of course all those trees along the Esther Tibbetts, that he had concerns that they would catch on fire.
Yeah, and this was a surface fire rather than
this was a surface fire. Yes, yeah, which has caused, whether you want to say whether it's a battery or whatever, ignited it. Generally, and it's usually happens when there is not regular compacting happen and layering. So it came to light that the compactor had been is down, and they're waiting on a part from Germany, I think, for the compactor. But we'll see if that fire, and thank God it did not, if the wind had swung around, we would be having a completely different discussion today, possibly, about damage to property and an even greater impact on road closures. And you could have had a situation where both roads, 7 Mile Beach Road and the Esther Tibbetts Road, had to close. In the vicinity of Kirk Supermarket, it was, in the early morning, almost impassable without your bright lights. So these things are all tied together. And for me, looking at that fire, I was a bit upset. I was interviewed by the Compass, and I simply turned and looked at it, and I said, how can you put value for money on this? How can you put value for money on avoiding what is potentially the largest or the greatest environmental threat to the country? How do you put value and money for avoiding pumping millions of gallons of water into the landfill, and then that seeps into the North Sound? How do you put value for money on avoiding the hours and hours that people sat in traffic because of the road being closed? How do you put value for money on the amount of businesses that probably had to close or reduce services because of lack of staff, because of the traffic? I mean, everything from political meetings to church services had to be cancelled, postponed, because of the traffic situation. How do you put value for money on that? And, you know, I read in that same article that you're talking about that in 2025 there were 10 fires. So we didn't even know about majority of the fires that happened. So that article says in 2025 there were 10 landfill fires. Now, OC, again, we had a plan. Unfortunately, there was a Auditor General's report, which I feel was a targeted report in a sense, where all of the information was not given to the Auditor General. And I'm going to make this as quickly and as simple as possible. Once we saw that report, which was quite damning to the project, we immediately responded, wrote to the Auditor General and the Governor and the ministry. And we subsequently had meetings with the Governor and the Deputy Governor and the ministry where they accepted that the information we gave them was missing from the report. They also accepted that the report...
What year was this?
This was... We'll pull it up here in a second.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
They also accepted that the report information was only given on the report up to, I think, May.
So the report, on the face of the original report, it purported to cover the period ending in December 2021. When we analyzed it, and I wasn't at the meeting, but you were. But what we provided to them was even there were many inaccuracies in our view within that report, inaccuracies that then policymakers may have then relied upon in making some decisions. But on the face of the report itself, the first inaccuracy was the period it covered.
Right.
It only went to about March 2021, and the report title claimed it went to December.
And there was a lot of very important information missing from March to December of 2021. And the report also purported that we did not engage experts, etc. We provided that evidence that we had, and many, many reports, millions of dollars in reports. And so OC, there was missing reports, missing information, missing periods that were not added, that were supposedly covered in the report. However, that the work that was done between March and December of 2021 was absolutely absent from the report. And so that was accepted, and the Auditor General agreed to do an updated report based covering, including the information during that timeline, but also including all of the missing information that we provided. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, by the time the report was ready to be released, the government of the day had entered into exit talks with the DART consortium and so therefore the Auditor General report was heavily redacted because of these negotiations. Mm-hmm. So we are anxiously awaiting the opportunity to see the unredacted report whenever the negotiations are completed between the government and the DART consortium on the termination of the solid waste management program that we had planned for. And OC, it's also they were saying, oh, this is I hear people say that it was going to break the country. The cost somehow quadrupled or more from when we demitted office to the comments that came after. In many senses, it reminds me of the issue with the preview. The cost just kept moving, and hopefully one day we may all understand what the true cost was. But it was also important to note that it was spread over 25 years. Mm. And so we are now in a position, putting all of that out there, where my concern is that where my concern was during the budget debate in November last year, is that and where my concern was when it was announced that they were cancelling the regen contract. The minister then said, at the time then, said that they were going to be able to go right back into another request for proposal because all the groundwork had been done. They don't have to redo it. So we are a year and a half, 2 years, 2.5 years later, and there is no RFP. A plan just came out last week. It's all in the press, and I think the Compass did a great job of covering the history of it. It's all in the press that a plan was revealed last week that simply talks about, in the next budget cycle, preparing a line to landfill to take us through the next 10 years. That is not a plan. That is kicking the can down the road 10 years.
That's a plan to have a plan.
Kicking the can down the road 10 years to another full tipping site. That's what that is at the moment. So what I would like to see and what I would like to know for the people of Georgetown North and for the country is, when will we see a comprehensive plan that covers all 3 islands? And how are we going to deal with the increasing number of garbage, not just separating it, because separating it is one thing, and I agree with that. But how are we going to get rid of it? Are we going to ship it out? Are we going to, what are we going to do with it? Because the contracts, the dozens of contracts that have happened over the years on the tires and the metal no one has made, everybody has to give it up after the contract. Mm-hmm. Because it's just not feasible. Some give it up halfway through the contract. So what is the plan? How are we going to deal with the increasing amount of garbage going into our landfills on all 3 islands?
Okay. And on the other side of this commercial break, if you could talk about the difficulties that we are likely to encounter, or the options that, the limited options that we may have based on the rapid development that is taking place in the Cayman Islands as far as development of land is concerned. More and more residential areas popping up as soon as roads open up, and everything else is going to reduce the options in terms of locations that we may have for it as well, if we can talk to that.
Yeah, and the need will increase because we have more commercial ventures opening up, more hotels, and all those things bring commercial waste with it.
Certainly. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Perks Home Center. We got a great deal in store for you.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Spring forward and save 20% on GE appliances. All throughout the month of April, enjoy 20% savings on GE appliances across a wide range of categories. Washers and dryers, refrigerators, cooking, dishwares, and wine and beverage coolers. Have you been thinking about replacing or upgrading your appliances? Now is the perfect time to shop and save. Take advantage of the GE Appliances Spring Forward sale happening now at Brandosaurus Home Gallery. Enjoy 20% off America's #1 most reliable appliance brand. But don't wait! Offer ends April 30. Visit Brandosaurus at 209 Dorsey Drive Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
This is Will Sinatra. Just want to say a very special congratulations to Loxley Banks on having the building named after him, as well as happy 50th anniversary to Radio Cayman.
I can feel it. I'm the world's greatest.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Leader of the Opposition, Hon.Joey Hugh, Deputy Leader, Hon. Kenneth Bryan, and Member of Parliament, Mr. Roy Tatum. Gentlemen.
Yeah. So, yes, OC, so we're now back in a position where we do not have any long-term, clearly funded plan for dealing with the landfill in the three Cayman Islands. The report the updated report from the Auditor General, and in the conclusion, this was just read to me. The January 2025 report should not be understood as simply a redacted version of the original audit. Rather, it is a revised document.
That was from something I sent you, Joey. That's not from the audit.
Oh, that's not from the report.
That was an analysis.
Okay. My apologies. All right. Yeah. So this was an analysis we did on the two reports.
On the 2024 report versus the 2021 report.
Right. And it says, in conclusion, the 2025 report should not be understood as simply a redacted version of the original audit. Rather, it is a revised document that reflects changes in evidence, adjustments in findings, and modifications in tone. The differences identified in this report are material and should be taken into account in any assessment of the Regen project and the conclusions drawn from the Auditor General's work. A complete understanding of the project would benefit from continued transparency, including the release of unredacted information where appropriate and consideration of the full project life cycle. Unfortunately, all of that is too late for the Regen project. And again, I just come back to saying, taking politics out of it, what we want to hear and what we want to see is not a instance of kicking the can down the road, but a clearly defined and budgeted plan for the future of the three landfills in the Cayman Islands. To talk about, as the article you were speaking about, to talk about mandatory recycling at this point, it was these two gentlemen sitting here in the station this morning that raised the question about the trial curbside pickup, which would include recycling bins, different recycling bins, and where that was. And there had been, I think they even thanked you for bringing it up, Mr. Tatum, and saying they would look back at the program again. And the Honourable Deputy Leader even did a quick calculation on what it would cost to roll out the program and providing the recycling bins. So that just goes to tell me that all of this is now a reaction to the fire and was not a priority of the government during their budget cycle.
Mr. Connor, if I can just chime in a little bit on this topic. Obviously, we want to cover as many things as possible, and the number one matter has to do with the fire because of the concerns that come along with it. So I think everybody is in agreement that we have to do something with this landfill. There's no question about that. Every Caymanian will say that they want it resolved. I think the broader picture that of priority and give the government the support necessary from the public perspective to actually make it a priority, because the government can only do so much in any one term with any one set of monies and budget approves. So I think today's discussion and the public's input is, can you bring this up on top of your priority list? It may be down at number 13. It needs to be at least number 2 or number 3 at this point. And why is that? We saw the number one most important thing is the health and safety of life. I was so worried, particularly for those persons in the Georgetown North area. What would have happened if the fire creeped over the highway over to those persons who lived, there's a parkway? Is the parkway the most adjacent area?
Well, no, you have obviously Courts Road, which was heavily affected, going south to north. Courts Road, which was heavily affected. Watlers Road, known as Dog City, which was also heavily affected this time around. Then you have major roads are Marbell, Parkway, even Kintyre, and then right there to the south of that is Jasmine Road, which the hospice facility is there.
Correct.
And then, of course, you have 7 Mile Beach, our tourism product.
So Mr. Connor, the thing that I'm trying to highlight is what is the important factors that are coming out of this. Like my leader said, forget the politics, the effect. People could have died. We don't know what the health effects of the air pollution could potentially be in the long term. Personally, my Georgetown Primary School had to shut down for a day. Kids lost education. The traffic alone caused us as a party to stop a public meeting to speak to our people because people couldn't get to the meeting in time. These are the types of effect. You heard the leaders talk about the fact of our tourism product. This is millions of dollars of branding that we spend every year on Cayman's pristine image. This could be something that can damage us heavily with one bad article on an international level. And so the thing is, forget about the politics for a minute. We want a clear timeline. And I'll be honest with you, I am not confident at all with the comments I've heard from the government that this is up in their top 5 priority. Because you hear about the money is going to be available in the next budget. The things, how long it takes to do major things like this, you're talking about 3-4 year timeline.
At a minimum.
At minimum to get this resolved. So I have no comfort in thinking that this government, because they didn't put it as a top priority when they first started in their first budget, that anything will be done in this term. And I'll let the record show today, because I'll bring back up this recording, that the government is not going to be able to do anything substantive enough because they did not put it as a top priority in the early part, that if you're waiting till the next budget, I personally would go out on a limb here and say, if the government came back to Parliament right now and say, listen, we're coming for supplementary funding today, before the next budget comes, to start the planning, you can't say, oh, we're going to get the money in the next budget. That means you're already saying, oh, we're going to wait a year before we start anything. And I don't think that the country wants that. And I know the opposition, the official opposition, would support them if it's a money factor because of all of these other issues. So right now, what we want is, yes, we could play the blame game, but who does that help? What we're talking about is, let's get the plan agreed to. You have our full support because the people are now fed up, because somebody's life is going to be lost. I was really scared for human life the last time around. And not only the effect on the business community, our brand, the necessity for that one road was so highlighting. Mm-hmm. The fact that the whole country was at a standstill when that road was closed. Yep. So we see there's opportunity with that fire. Let's take it by the hand. The opposition is here to support you because we want this resolved. We're trying our best not to make it political, but you need to give us some answers is what we're saying. And we need it to be clear The Parliament starts on the 29th. We expect a clear, decisive message from the Minister or from the Premier with no ambiguity. No, oh, we'll be working on it. It needs to be defined because I think the people have said that they want focused attention to this. So, Mr. Corner, in the interest of time, we have a lot to talk about. So we want to wrap up this fire discussion and move on to our parliamentary success as well as the parliamentary plan, as well as our focus for our listening tour, when it's going to be next. So when we come back, I want Honourable Roy Tatum to address our listening tour in the next day.
Okay, this message from one of our listeners sort of sums up what you just said, also Mr. Bryan, and what you all have said. It says PPM had the responsibility for 2 to 3 terms, fix the dump. UDP had it for 2 to 3 terms. We elected you all to take care of our major concerns. This is major. Fix the dump. All have been playing the same game. If we had a world championship game of kick the can, our politicians would be world champions. Please help us fix the dump. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Spring forward and save 20% on GE appliances. All throughout the month of April, enjoy 20% savings on GE appliances across a wide range of categories. Washers and dryers, refrigerators, cooking, dishwares, and wine and beverage coolers. Have you been thinking about replacing or upgrading your appliances? Now is the perfect time to shop and save. Take advantage of the GE Appliances Spring Forward sale happening now at Brandosaurus Home Gallery. Enjoy 20% off America's #1 most reliable appliance brand. But don't wait! Offer ends April 30. Visit Brandosaurus at 209 Dorsey Drive Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
Hello, this is Roy Tatum, your Member of Parliament for Red Bay. Congratulations to Radio Cayman on 50 remarkable years. For half a century, Radio Cayman has been more than a radio station. It has been the voice of our people, the heartbeat of these islands, present through every storm and every celebration and every chapter of our story as Caymanians. A special thank you to every staff member, past and present, whose dedication and passion built this legacy we treasure so deeply. On behalf of the people of the constituency of Red Bay, I thank you, Radio Cayman, and may your signal carry us proudly into the next 50 years. God bless.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We know that our panelists have other things to discuss, but we're going to just stay on the landfill situation a little bit longer because my question is, well, two parts. Do you feel that this whole issue, the approach that has to be taken to it has to be a bipartisan approach rather than a partisan approach? And is there enough out there in terms of research and recommendations that we have something that we can move forward with rather than starting from scratch again as far as any proposals to deal with the landfill?
OC, I'll take a stab at that, and others can feel free to chime in. First of all, on that last message you read, I agree with the individual. However, we had a signed contract for a solution. So we got further than any other government have gotten in decades with it. We can argue the contents of that contract, but we had a signed contract. It took 7 years to get that contract signed. So that understanding that, the amount of research and stuff that went into the landfill 10 years ago now, to answer your question, I think so much has changed population-wise. The amount of trash going into the landfill is substantially more than when we started this process 10 years ago. And the fact that the contract with the ISBIM's contract was terminated in its totality. There was no reduction in the scope of it to say, well, okay, let's take it to this point, but this is a point we're concerned about value for money, or this is a point we think is too expensive, but let's negotiate to take it up to this point, up to where we have the recycling going, the sorting of the trash, the storage of the trash, that if we ever go into another contract, or if we get past the cost of the solid waste management system, the incinerator part of it, we'll have the trash ready to start up the generators, start up the infernos, because you need tons and hundreds of tons of garbage to put in. So unless they're going to, I think there'd be a lot more work. They're certainly going to require probably updated, let's see, from the Department of Environment, environmental impact assessments. They would have to do new business cases, because assuming that they're still doing or looking at waste to energy, they would still have to do a new business case based on the numbers that are there provided today, and an updated environmental impact assessment. Now, if we depart from that, and what I heard, I think Mr. Wallen Whitaker commented in the Compass, if we depart from that and say, no, what we're going to do is find a new site to do properly lined landfill sorting, landfilling, and recycling and reusing and repurposing. That can't happen at the current site. There's not enough land space there for that. And it probably isn't the appropriate place for it to happen. But if they're going to move to that, A, they have to identify the site, secure the property, do all of those things I spoke about, environmental impact assessments, public consultations, reports, RFPs, not RFPs, but preliminary reports. You have several levels of preliminary reports to go through: business case, business plan, and then into the RFP process. Now, like I said, we took 7 years to get through to a signed contract. So we're looking, if you're talking about identifying another site, securing that site, then you have another 7 years to go through, up to 7 years to go through the negotiations and the development of the plan before you actually even start construction. So I don't think we have time to focus on recycling reducing waste going in now, and then thinking about developing a plan in 2 to 4 years' time. I think, unfortunately, I have to say that's just simply kicking the can down the road.
The lifetime for the current site it's probably 5 to 7 years.
Still the 5 to 7
It's
years.
been
Not
5 to 7 years
for.
It's been 5 to 7 years since 2013. I think since we stopped using, probably closer to 20. We stopped using the original landfill around probably closer to 2016, 2017 was when they closed the original landfill and started tipping on the other side, closer to the Tibbetts Highway. But we've heard this every time we ask the question. It's 5 years, 5 to 7 years, 5 to 7 years. So,
but if it really is 5 years,
Mr. Connor, I think what is important for the listening audience to take away from our party is we're prepared to do whatever it takes to help the government solve this problem.
Exactly.
Right? The record is already going to show what the Progressives has done. The record will show that they've done the most in respect to this, regardless if it was cancelled or not. The people want a solution now, and we're here to help.
That's important,
right? So
fix the dump.
If the government is ready, we are happy to sit with them and come with a complete approach for the country and say, no matter what side is in and who's out, that we will continue down this road to find an end solution, because now there's so many things at risk outside of just the environment, which is a top priority. So we're looking forward to when the sitting starts, and hopefully the Premier and his team are willing to work with our leader and sit down and find a solution together. That's what the Progressives is offering this country. And with that in mind, just because of time,
I'm just going to read to close out and to support your comments, the deputy's comments. I did submit a parliamentary question, and this is an excellent opportunity for the minister to update the country with their plans. And the parliamentary question reads, can the Honourable Minister advise this Honourable House, A, what immediate and medium-term measures the government has implemented or intends to implement to prevent and suppress landfill fires, particularly in light of the 3 significant fire events within the past 3 months, and B, whether a comprehensive landfill management and fire prevention plan currently exists, and if so, when was it last updated, and whether it includes independent environmental oversight, and C, what the government's long-term strategy with defined timelines and funding commitments is for addressing the ongoing environmental and public health risks associated with the current landfill site.
Okay, I couldn't help but reminisce, while you were talking about the fact that I don't know if you all remember when the government purchased property in that area to expand it. I think it was purchased from the late George Seymour, and there was such an uproar, about government paying the money that government paid for that property at the time, and where we are now, in relation to it. If that hadn't been done at that point in time, where in the world would we be?
Yeah.
I think while we praise ourselves and we talk, about the progress that we have made in the Cayman Islands, some of it we have just simply been lucky. Some of it, we have worked hard towards reaching that point, but in some instances, it's just that we have been lucky, as well. And this is one instance now where we have to put our collective heads and efforts together to get this resolved, because it isn't going to get any easier.
Yes.
No. It isn't going to get any cheaper the longer we go with it.
Yeah. And each year goes by, the risks increase. I had a very good friend, I want to thank her, she sent me a note saying, Roy T, looking a little upset. If I was looking upset, it was because of the concern I have for people. And I know how hugely important this is, not just for today, but for the future of our country. So it needs a solution. I've put the region thing, trying to put it behind me. Region is gone. We need a solution for tomorrow. and for the next 20 years.
Yeah, we have to stop being so myopic as well.
Yeah.
Folks, with that, we're going to go to our headline news. When we return, we're going to switch gears and several other topics that our panelists want to discuss as well. So don't change that dial. For the record, we'll be back immediately after headline news.
Since 1976.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Bryan. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The Cayman National Attractions Authority advises the public that Cocoa Fest, which traditionally takes place in February at Pedro St. James, will not take place this year due to, quote, logistical and resource limitations. Cocoa Fest is scheduled to return in 2027, with planning efforts focused on, quote, delivering an enhanced and memorable experience. In international news, Iran has attacked 3 cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz, according to Iran, after Donald Trump said he was extending the U.S.-Iran ceasefire. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says it has seized 2 of the 3 ships and is escorting them to the Iranian coast. Trump said last night he was, quote, extending the ceasefire while also maintaining the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports, which is designed to put pressure on Iran before talks with the U.S. and Pakistan. But the status of those talks is unclear. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance did not depart for Pakistan as expected on Tuesday. An advisor to Iran's parliamentary speaker says the ceasefire extension, quote, means nothing, calling it a ploy to buy time for a surprise attack. And Ukraine says it has resumed pumping Russian oil through a pipeline into Hungary and Slovakia, bringing to end months of deadlock over a €90 billion loan seen as vital European Union support for Kyiv. Soon afterwards, EU ambassadors meeting in Cyprus gave preliminary approval to the loan, as well as a 20th package of sanctions on Russia. EU leaders will sign it off at an informal summit later today. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I'm going to throw the mic right back over to our panelists, the progressives and members of the opposition, gentlemen.
Mr. Connor, we're going to go straight into it. Before the break, we were talking about switching the subject, and I think we want to cover one last thing on the environment and then go into some other matters, Roy?
Yes, we'll partially stay with the dump for a short while. Just want to remind the public about the 2026 bulk waste collection schedule that was recently announced. Just to go over the current schedule, week 1, May 4th to the 9th is West Bay. May 11th to the 16th is Georgetown. May 18th to the 23rd is Bordentown. May 25th to 30th is North Side and East End. Kimmelbrack, May 25th to the 26th is the east side of the Brack. 27th to the 28th of May is the west side of the Brack. May 29th is the south side of Kimmelbrack. And Little Cayman is set for May 28th. So please, if you have bulk waste, make sure that you take the opportunity to put them out. Make sure that you also, please, do not put out the things that they have here that they won't accept. Electronics, tires, hazardous materials, construction and demolition waste. It is not for that. It is for things like appliances, mattresses, vegetative waste, furniture, bicycles, scrap metals and the likes. And early on, appliances, somebody mentioned stoves. So those are the dates. Please take advantage of them. Get those things out of your yard. And don't know if they'll be having another one before Christmas. They might not, so use the opportunity now. And also, Mr. Connor, the listening tour was scheduled. The listening tour meeting was scheduled, but then we had this incident of the fire, and we decided, as you heard earlier, to postpone it. So one of our members is traveling, so we decided to wait until she is back. She's off on official business. That's Perlina, the MP for Georgetown West. So the listening tour will now happen on May 7th because she gets back that week, and it'll be at the Seafarers Hall, 6 to 8 p.m. I think it is. But we will be actually announcing that as well. So look out for that. And also, I also have been planning what I had called a Sunset Serenade. The part of my office that I have, I don't use, I make it available for some musicians to practice and rehearse in and the like. And a part of me allowing them is they'll do some things within the community, including free concerts.
Okay.
So we're looking to, I just need to verify with them that they're all ready, but we're looking right now for May 9th. That will help celebrate two things. It'll help celebrate Mother's Day, which is the 10th, and also an appreciation for, I would have just been finishing my first year in Parliament. So I'll be announcing that formally as well, so the public and my constituents can watch for that as well. Sunset Serenade in Red Bay.
Okay.
Mr. Connor, before we get into the parliamentary agenda, I know many times we talk about some things that we need to fix, but I want to take this opportunity to switch the conversation to something very, very positive. I think today we should give so much thanks and appreciation to the Royal Cayman Police Service.
Yes.
We've had a string of armed robberies across the last 6 months, so I keep a close eye on that because reputationally and safety for our people and what Cayman is becoming, it really bothers me. But when the police do a great job, we have to highlight them, and they've done an amazing job. We had a recent armed robbery at a jewelry store, and the police caught all the culprits, at least we understand to be the accused culprits. Suspects, thank you so much. And we have to give them credit. So every one of the police officers, the police commissioner, we're really proud that your workers, your staff did an amazing job, and we want to give you your support and give you your flowers that you need and deserve. And the public, if we work with the Royal Cayman Police Service, we can keep Cayman safe and let criminals know that they can't do this. So we're really proud of you. We thank you, and we hope that you get a successful prosecution so we can send a clear message to those who want to break the law that this Cayman is not going to accept it. So congratulations again to them.
And what was amazing there was that the third suspect that they caught that person at the airport who was trying to leave the jurisdiction. Yes. So it goes to show you the detailed work and the speed at which they were able to garner such information to intercept that person before they left the jurisdiction.
There must have been some good interrogations with the ones who they caught. I want to also highlight some other positive stuff, particularly when we're talking about the dump as well as the cleanup. This week is Earth Day. Actually, Earth Day is actually today.
Oh, is it?
And there's a number of cleanups over the weekend. There's a number of 5K walks and run. Beautification and cleanliness is a Cayman staple. That's who we are. And I want persons to, I know everybody's on their social media handles, they'll see these flyers and stuff. I want every person to just do one part to keeping Cayman clean this week and consciously recognize it to say, I've done my piece. And if 80,000 of us together do something, you can see the difference by the next day. So this weekend, make sure you, even if it's your neighborhood, in your yard, in your district, go to a 5K run to protect the environment. I think Chamber is doing a cleanup as well. I know that we in the Progressives are going to be adding to the various cleanups across the different districts, because in the People's Progressive Movement, we're committed to keeping Cayman clean, and we're going to do our contribution. So we encourage the country, particularly that we're celebrating protecting the earth on Earth Day. Make sure you take part in some sort of cleanup, not only for your own bulk waste, but for your neighborhood and everywhere else.
And one of your former colleagues and former members of Parliament, Ms. Barbara Connolly, she was heavily involved in her constituency in terms of cleanups as well.
And agreed.
Hard out work, Barbara.
Yeah. And I want to also just quickly say that cleanup isn't only on land. We have the best oceans across the world. So those of you who like to dive or who just want to go in the water, hey, make it a beach day. But when you leave, take a bag of garbage from either in the waters or around the water's edge. So you can make fun of it, make it some family time. So we want to talk about that. Mr. Corner, we want to now move on to the parliamentary sitting, which we know is next week, Wednesday, and it's scheduled for 3 days, the 29th, the 30th, and the 1st of May. And there's a number of things on the agenda, one in particular, which we are focusing heavily on as a party, which is a motion brought by the Honorable former leader of our party, Roy McTaggart. And this motion is to reduce, temporarily reducing the duty charged on government for importation of fuels. As you know, inflation, the unfortunate circumstances in the Middle East, has caused fuel prices to go through the roof. Matter of fact, I know. I saw a gas station that was 15 cents away from $7 a gallon 4 days ago in Grand Cayman. And it doesn't seem like it's going down anytime soon. There's no indications. We were hopeful about the strait opening up. Now that's gone down the drain again, so they're back at it in respect to this war in the Middle East. And as you know, most fuel are supplied in, I think it's 3-month increments. I was hoping that this would have been resolved before the next increment of fuel that supplies Cayman was going to be affected. It doesn't seem like that's going to stop. So that means in summer, CUC and all gas stations are going to be using a supply of fuel that were bought at a very high price in probably the worst time ever in the summertime. So we want the government to, with our support, we'll support you, whatever it takes, whatever vote, whatever lobbying and support publicly. We're not here for credit. We just want the people to get some relief. So we're hoping that they accept this, where it will be reduction on the fuels to CUC, as well as reduction in other fuels that are used, gas, cooking gases, and gas at the pump as well. So we look forward to hopefully getting their support by that. And the person who focuses on our finances on our side is Mr. Roy McTaggart, who has decades of experiences on controlling the money. So he's assessed the government situation financially, particularly the fact that they have announced that they had a surplus of over 50 million. If my memory serves me well. So by no means the government should have any excuses in respect to saying that they cannot afford to give the public some relief. So we're hoping for some support on that. A small one that is not that big of a deal, which is a motion I filed that is supported by the Honorable Leader, soon to be Premier, is the consolidation of the parcels of land for Central Scranton Park. It's just a formality. It's nothing majorly, as the public may remember, we bought a number of the parcels over the term when I was minister, and this is to ask the government to consolidate them into one and then put some necessary protections for in perpetuity that it can never be sold and done for anything else. So that's 2 motions, but there is a number of other...
That's an important motion.
It's a very important one. I try not to be too self-serving
I know.
here, but it is... Thank you so much, Roy, for highlighting that. That is how important it is. But there are some other motions brought by the other members of opposition, and I'm not going to go into detail because that's their motion, but I just thought the public would want to hear it, so we're informing them about those motions. So the first one is a private member's motion reintroducing the civil service home ownership program. Whoever the member who brought that is the member from Bordentown East, and they can come and discuss it on the program if they like. I think they should be coming to Radio Cayman and talk to the Radio Cayman listeners because they are the majority of people who we represent. The second private member's motion is the establishment of a financial services and banking oversight committee. Again, another motion brought by the honorable member from Bordentown West. The other motion that is expected to be heard on the 30th of April is a motion for a newborn investment sovereign fund for all Caymanian children born after 1st of January 2027. So those members should come on and explain to the public what it's all about. It's not our job to do that. We're assessing our position and whether we're supporting it. We have another meeting. As you know, we will have caucus every week and we're going through the various things. We've been focusing on the government bills thus far. Up to yesterday, we were talking about some of those and we're going to get to those in a second. But as for the motions, I think the members should come on and explain to the people. And we're always open to hear their positions so we can consider whether we support it. Sometimes we have to assume what they're trying to get at, and we encourage not only other members, independent members, to come and work with us in a collaborative approach to help the people, but also with the government. And I want to take this opportunity to challenge the government today, because one thing I see as a routine approach is they bring bills, they bring regulations, they are policy positions, and they don't consult with the opposition. Now, I know most people will say, well, they don't have to consult with you. But if we want to, which the Premier has always said, we want to work collaboratively for the people, and you want less acrimony on the floor of the House, you have to then give us the opportunity to have a discussion before we go to Parliament, because we can't read your minds and your intent. It'd be great to say, listen, this is what our intention is. Would you like an opportunity to sit down and talk? And I must say Michael Miles have been offering that a lot in respect to immigration, but no other department or ministry has offered that option to us to say, here's our input, so let's reduce the fighting on the floor of the House, because we do represent a large amount of people in this country, and we do have other viewpoints. And as the old saying goes, 2 minds are better than one. So we are encouraging the government, whenever they got bills coming, come talk to us. We may offer something positive, or before you potentially make a mistake, because the government has made a number of mistakes since they've been in respect to policy, had to go back, rewrite it, make amendments on the floor of the House. So we're encouraging them to reach out to us. We're trying our best not to play the politics, and we can offer some positive stuff.
Okay,
So,
I think we have to go to a commercial break, but I'll pose this question and then you can respond. Have we recently, or are we aware in the past where a private member's motion has been brought forward and seconded by the government side? So maybe an opposition member bringing the motion, and it is being supported and seconded by the government side as well, because we see that happening in the U.S., which is sort of different legislative setup. But if you look at the House of Representatives, for instance, you have Democrats and Republicans getting together and bringing those forward.
And it has happened.
Yes. Okay, great. With that, we take a commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Boy, I'm so glad I got that funding from the Ministry of Tourism's Visitors Experience Development Grant Program. It has really helped me create an awesome new tourism offering. Wondering if you could do the same? You're in luck. Applications for the VEDG program are now open. Visit www.ourcayman.ky/VEDGP for more information and to apply.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Spring forward and save 20% on GE appliances. All throughout the month of April, enjoy 20% savings on GE appliances across a wide range of categories. Washers and dryers, refrigerators, cooking, dishwares, and wine and beverage coolers. Have you been thinking about replacing or upgrading your appliances? Now is the perfect time to shop and save. Take advantage of the GE Appliances Spring Forward sale happening now at Brandosaurus Home Gallery. Enjoy 20% off America's #1 most reliable appliance brand. But don't wait! Offer ends April 30. Visit Brandosaurus at 209 Dorsey Drive Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the steady voice at the center of our islands. In every hurricane, every moment of uncertainty, it's the station we turn to for calm, clear, reliable information. So many of our musicians had their very first airplay right here, and our local sound continues to grow because Radio Cayman gives it a home. And of course, the talk shows, the heartbeat of our community. For many Caymanians, this has been the only place to share concerns, ask questions, and feel truly heard. None of this would be possible, of course, without the dedicated staff who have served this station for decades. Here's to 50 years of service and to many more years of being the voice of the Cayman Islands. I am Lorna Bush.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. So I dropped that question before and you answered it actually before we went off air, but you may want to expand on that in terms of, having motions, private members' motions that are supported by both sides, and you did mention that. We also have a WhatsApp, and I'm not going to resurrect or continue the discussion on the dump, but this writer did send something to me on Monday as well, and when you look at the concerns that they have, it really has to do with the population size of the Cayman Islands. And in this particular case, he writes, the dump issue is also a product of the number of residents living and visitors on the island. We need to join the dots and limit the numbers. And that's coming from Mr. Tim Ridley, who I believe, based on the comments that he makes during the course of the show, that he is, a very passionate listener to Radio Cayman, and in particular For the Record as
That's
well.
Good to know.
And he has concerns about the numbers, and he has expressed it on more than one occasion, and I want to thank him for that as well. Gentlemen.
Mr. Corner, that we want to thank the author for that, and obviously that's why the need for a national development plan is important.
Yep.
And our leader have been asking the government to present that where they're at, and I got to say the minister in charge of that is still the minister in charge from the last term.
The input, the input into the landfill is it's everything. The amount of landfill. So there's ways to address that, to look at it as population grows. Is what are we putting into the landfill? The sorting and the separating is one thing, but where is the reduction in single-use plastics? styrofoam, things of that nature. There was a lot of chat about that when we were in power. We were heavily criticized over it, and now I dare say that there's a Green Party in power. I haven't heard a word about that either. But anyway, we digress.
But they're definitely going to have to further analyze the content of the assessment of the author of that just now. So, Mr. Ridley, thank you so much for always being willing to give input in our community matters. Mr. Connor, before we went to the break, we were talking about the parliamentary sitting. And there is 8 bills before the House, 7 by the government and 1 by members of the independent opposition, not the official opposition, which is the People's Progressive Movement. And we do our normal process of caucusing, analyzing the bills. We have not completed the whole process for all of them thus far, but I just want to say that what they are coming before the House, and some comments about them. So we have the Airports Authority Amendment and Validation Bill, and there's another Airports Authority Amendment Bill. And I think that there's 2 parts to that, particularly because maybe they submitted one before the other, has to do with the improvements of security at the airport, what powers they have, some of it suggesting almost police powers and arrest powers, and bringing it up to international standards of keeping our airports safe. So fundamentally, based on what we've assessed thus far, we're 90% there with full support. We have some questions and concerns, and we're going to present those because we already analyzed those 2. In respect to the Auditor Oversight Amendment, Validation and Repeal Bill, has more to do with financial services, and our Honourable Member Roy McTaggart has assessed that. Don't have much issues with that one either, and he'll represent us on the floor of the House. As per the Health Practice Amendment Bill, I'll not speak for him, but the member who's going to represent us on the floor of the House is here. So Roy, you want to just quickly address that one?
Yeah, I plan to reach out to the Minister with regards some clarifications, I guess. But that is seeking to have Cabinet prescribe the minimum levels of, I wish I had the bill in front of me, but the minimum requirements for a variety of entities, doctors, you bring it up?
Yeah.
All right. And so on in terms of their standards. Right now, those are decided by various councils. And I think there have been in the past some concerns as to whether or not there need to be some improvements or consistency across the board. So it's a good thing for Cabinet to actually, thank you very much. So I'll just read it quickly. Bill amends the Health Practice Act to empower the Cabinet to prescribe standards for professional practice that apply to every registered practitioner and for incidental and connected purposes. Clause 1, skip Clause 1. Clause 2 provides for the amendment of Section 35 of the Health Practice Act to empower the Cabinet to prescribe standards of professional practice that apply to every registered practitioner. The amendment also provides that the standards of professional practice shall be in respect to the following matters: professional responsibilities and clinical practice, licensing, performance and scope of practice, clinical practice, consent and capacity to consent, prescribing and handling medicine, clinical trials and research, patient-related standards, safety, trust, honesty and integrity, and any other matter related to standards of professional practice that apply to registered practitioners as the Cabinet considers necessary. And then it goes on to say that Clause 2 also provides that where there's a conflict between the professional standards set out in the regulations and a code prepared by a council, the professional standards set out in the regulation shall apply to the extent of the inconsistency. So it is wide-ranging. But it is important, and I do agree to ensure that there's a consistent standard. I understand that the Minister is intending to seek the assistance of the councils in setting that standard. What I don't see in the bill is a mechanism for how do you update it, how do you, as changes are required. And I would have liked to have seen something along the lines of a mechanism where those same councils would then be have the ability to recommend or suggest changes. So I plan to have a chat with the minister if I can.
Are you aware of what obtains today in terms of where we're at with it, as opposed to what is being proposed now? How it works now?
How it works now? Each one of those councils set their own standards, right? And what's being proposed is that my understanding that those standards will be taken as the baseline for the cabinet to set a standard across the board.
So, Mr. Connor, it's important that I recognize that we got to go to a break, and we're going to deal with 3 more when we get back. And just for an interest of time, we have another break after this. So we want to finalize our parliamentary stuff in the next 15 minutes, and then potentially take calls in the last 15 minutes. So just to give us a direction of where we're going.
Excellent, folks. You heard that. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Spring forward and save 20% on GE appliances. All throughout the month of April, enjoy 20% savings on GE appliances across a wide range of categories. Washers and dryers, refrigerators, cooking, dishwares, and wine and beverage coolers. Have you been thinking about replacing or upgrading your appliances? Now is the perfect time to shop and save. Take advantage of the GE Appliances Spring Forward sale happening now at Brandosaurus Home Gallery. Enjoy 20% off America's #1 most reliable appliance brand. But don't wait! Offer ends April 30. Visit Brandosaurus at 209 Dorsey Drive Industrial Park or call 623-5000.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Ministry of Education and Training invites eligible Caymanians to apply for a local scholarship for the 2026-2027 academic year. To apply for a local scholarship or learn more about the various scholarship offerings, please visit the Scholarship Secretariat's website at www.moescholarships.gov.ky. Applications close on Thursday, 30th of April, 2026. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education and Training.
Hello, this is Martha Watler. Happy 50th anniversary to Radio Cayman. It has been a true pleasure to have been a part of your journey for over 35 years. Wishing you continued growth and success as you keep informing, connecting, and entertaining the Cayman community for many years to come.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. To preserve as much time as possible, I'm not. By now you should know who's in the studio, so I'm going to just pass the mic back on over to them.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. So we're just going to deal with the last 4 bills that are coming to the House. We just dealt with 4 just now, and questions we're going to have. We're going to deal with those next week, Wednesday. and explain to the public why we are presenting them and what we hope to get out of them. So we don't have the time today to go through the questions that we have submitted, but each individual member who have submitted them will be passing it out to their constituents so they can get a full understanding of it. So the next 4 bills that are available and left that we haven't discussed is the Parliament Management Amendment Bill, which our Honourable Leader and the Premier was on the show about 2 weeks ago, explaining the purpose of that and getting support for the official opposition's office. So there's been much discussion about that. I don't think we have to go into that too much. The next bill is the Proceeds of Crime Amendment Bill 2026. Again, another bill that has to do with financial services and keeping us up to date in respect to the international norms and changes from our AMLs, as well as our anti-money laundering and what's it called again, FACTA. Our standards from a financial services perspective. I don't use the acronyms that often. That's why I'm not familiar with them. But these amendments are currently always coming just to make sure that we're keeping ahead of the game with our international financial brand. The Honourable Roy McTaggart will be presenting on behalf of the official opposition in respect to our position. The last update that we discussed, he's quite comfortable with what he's seen thus far, so there won't be much contention. Particularly with financial services, we don't have a lot of contention because it's not something you want to play political football with, and we're confident with Roy's representation on our behalf with respect to that. The last 2 bills, though, we have not completed our analysis or even started the analysis with the last one, and we're hoping that we can get some cooperation potentially with the ministry as well as the independent members. And let me explain to you why. The last 2 bills, one by the government and one by an independent member, have filed a motion, Mr. Christopher Saunders, and supported by Mr. Dwayne Seymour. So you know that members of the opposition can submit bills as well. But before we get into their bill, let's talk about the first bill, which is the Public Transportation Amendment and Validation Bill. It really has to do with a lot of administrative stuff within licensing, permits, and so forth within the transport department. We have some bigger concerns about the bigger issue about transport, so we are hoping to potentially have somebody from the ministry speak with us before we conclude our position, because transportation traffic is a major issue and we have some serious issues with it, and we don't want to be confrontational. But if we can't have that conversation, we have to assume only what the wording says. And sometimes, as you hear, just like our member Roy was just reading out the bill just now, you can't really understand the spirit of the intent without further dialogue. So we're hoping we can get that dialogue between now and Wednesday next week. If we don't, we have to assume what we think it's intended to be and place our concerns and our questions on the floor of the House. Moving on to the last bill now, which is an independent bill brought by the 2 independent members of the opposition. The bill is the Development and Planning Amendment Bill 2026. Now, we have caucused. We haven't had the opportunity to discuss this. I myself have reached out to the sponsor of this bill, Mr. Christopher Saunders, to try to get an understanding of what their intention is here so we can state our position properly. So we can't state a position on behalf of the progressives yet until we fully understand it. Hopefully between now and Wednesday next week, we've gone through all of that. Anything to do with planning and development is significant for the country. It has been creating a lot of buzz recently. So we're looking forward to be able to have a position by next week, Wednesday, when we come back on the radio. And particularly with Little Cayman, now I see that the government is going to have a meeting in Little Cayman. I think the constituents over there may want to take a close look at this Development and Planning Amendment Bill. It seems to will be affecting the sister islands severely. So we will have a full position on that by next week, after we've done our full consultation with all stakeholders, and even including the government, because bearing in mind this is an independent bill brought by 2 members, so we will also want to consult with the government what is their position, and once we've done that, we'll inform the public on what our position is and what we plan to put forward before the House. With that being said, I think we're doing pretty good with our mark and our time. We're open to hear from the public on some questions before we wrap up. Questions that we've submitted, we'll present them next week, Wednesday, because we'll be on the radio before Parliament starts at 2 p.m. on Wednesday next week. So we'll have the whole morning to come on the show with you. So we'd love to hear from the public. Remembering, one thing I would want to say before the calls start coming in, I'm assuming that they'll start ringing by now, is that after being on the radio the last time when we had Roy even on the radio holding to give input, we got a lot of feedback from the constituents and our good people of West Bay to say they want the next listening tour location to be in West Bay. And we've decided in caucus that will be the next location. As you heard, the one that was rescheduled is going to be on May the 7th, Thursday at the Seafarers Hall, because unfortunately the fire emergency with the dump burning, we had to reschedule that meeting. So the next meeting after that, we will be coming to West Bay. So all of our good West Bayers out there, and there's so many of them, we love you so much, and we will be coming to you, and we'll be able to announce that probably right after, or maybe the night of the next meeting at Seafarers. We can be able to say what date we're coming to West Bay. So with that being said, Mr. Leader, any questions before we take calls?
No. We'll wrap up at the end.
Okay, what we'll do now is, Ms. Susan, can we come to you now, take the commercial break, and then we just go straight through until 10 o'clock with all of the phone calls as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superhero shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
This April, the Cayman Islands come alive. Capella Music Festival 2026 takes over Camana Bay Saturday, April 25th. T.I.
Ready to the checker flag, ready through the red light.
Robin Thicke.
We got the magic.
Adonia, Flushy Fire, Problem Child, Spencer Crandall, Nicotine Dolls, Ziggy Ziegler, DJ Stax, and more from 12 p.m. to midnight. Get your tickets now at CapellaMusicFestival.com.
Boy, I'm so glad I got that funding from the Ministry of Tourism's Visitors Experience Development Grant Program. It has really helped me create an awesome new tourism offering. Wondering if you could do the same? You're in luck. Applications for the VEDG program are now open. Visit www.ourcayman.ky/VEDGP for more information and to apply.
Hello, this is Franz Manderson, Deputy Governor. Radio Cayman has been part of my life for 50 years. It has been a source of reliable news and information when I was 10 years old, and it is a source of truth and reliability today. I want to sincerely congratulate Radio Cayman and wish them a happy 50th anniversary.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show. Phone lines are open. We're going to ask each caller to please be as brief and succinct as possible so that we can accommodate as many callers as possible. I believe we have a caller on the WhatsApp number. Ms. Susan, is that the WhatsApp? Landline, regular landline. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's up? Welcome off island. I'm regular line. And good morning to your panel, the honorable leader and deputy leader and elected member there, MP. Now hearing a lot from them, sound like my good friend take a double dose of caffeine this morning. Sound like the leader. I got a question, and then they can answer after. Two questions, actually. I want to find out where were their opinion or input when we had an opportunity to move the dump, what they call the dump now, landfill, Mount Trashmore, my cousin named it, up on the eastern end where we would start new with a proper facility. I want to find out what part they played in the no dump in my backyard. I remember, I think the PPM campaigned very strongly on no dump in my backyard. And another one concerning the dump was, I think that Minister Bryan, I want to ask him where now they got consultation out, I think for transportation problems, ideas. But I do believe Minister Bryan had traveled to faraway places to see how their system worked. So when we send people far away like that, or not, even if it's not far away, but when they travel overseas to gather experience and information about other places, where does that information that they go abroad and get and bring back? Why don't they put that to use instead of asking for public consultation? And right back at the dump, I think my cousin, the Honorable Ard McLean, went as far as Germany. I think him and some other members, CG and the likes, about concerning the dump. And another thing I want to hit on before I go is this one is for the leader. We had this conversation before about reblemishing the beach and $22 million worth of sand. I want to ask him if he been down to the 7 Mile Beach lately where the removal of the royal palms took place, and having seen what happened there. Where the beach have automatically come out just because of the removal of the royal palm, and now they're building it back, but it sets very far back. So that in itself should tell us that we don't need $22 million worth of sand once we move the obstacles that borders the sea from going all the way up to the road or wherever it want to go and dissipate and comes back. So I will just leave that, and they can answer that while I'm gone.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you.
In the interest of time, I want to be as quick as possible. We only have 13 minutes. Mr. Connor, obviously, there's a level of natural recurrence back to my old profession to be a bit of a spokesperson, and I'm happy to be a part of my party to play that role. I noticed a caller asked about what is our position on the former proposal about dumps in or landfills in each different district.
The NIMBY
syndrome. Not in my backyard.
So it's important to establish something. When that happened, it was a different progressives then. I don't even think that we have any remaining members in the party that was there then when that decision was taken. And we have not had a discussion in the party in respect to whether we think there should be in each different district or in the Bontown area, which was proposed then, and whether we would agree with that or not. So it'd be unfair for us. Now, I think we all could answer independently to tell you your position, but we have not discussed that as a collective. And I think we should, particularly because of the circumstances, and the next time around, we'd be happy to answer that question, if that's okay. Mr. Leader?
Well, I think, if he did direct the question towards, the other one, the beach one, was towards me. But I think, if a government's job is part of government's responsibility is to listen to the people.
Yeah.
and I do. Yes, it was overwhelming that the people of Bodden Town did not want a landfill site in Bodden Town. I think history has shown that what the progressives decided to do, the option that the progressives promoted and decided to do, was to enter into a cleaner style of, or a cleaner option for dealing with our trash, and that was the waste to energy facility. So we spoke about that, and the caller said that he hadn't heard much from you because I took the first two segments entirely talking about the ISWIM's waste management system. So that's a simple answer to that. The people of Bodden Town didn't want it. They spoke in the election, and when the progressives had the opportunity, we chose to go with a waste to energy type facility that we could use the garbage, dispose of it in a clean manner, and use and end up producing energy at the same time.
Mr. Connor, I was hoping that we could have had the discussion otherwise, because you see, my position is a little different in respect to that topic, because I wasn't a part of the progressives back then.
No,
I am now.
That's the history. That's the facts.
Yeah. So because I am of the view that proposal was a good one. I think what was presented by the then Premier, McKeever Bush, I think the messaging is what ruined that opportunity, because it was going to be a properly developed and run facility with proper lining, and we wouldn't have what people visualize in respect to the dump today in the Bodden Town area. And it was far enough away from the residential area that I think it would not have been a concern. And this is the type of approach we need to think about, far outreaching, because the country will continue to grow. I don't think it should be growing at the rate that it's growing, but I don't see it stopping. Even if it's just at 1%, I think the last numbers of growth, I think, was almost 4%. And that's a bit fast for a small jurisdiction. But even if it's at 1%, eventually we're going to get to our 200 population, and we got a plan for that. So that's my personal position. But we run in a structured way within our party, and we'll have a better collective position later on. Quickly to answer the question about the transportation, the travels that I've had, I do think we need to reform the system. I do not think independently run public transport is the safest or the best, most efficient way for our country. But again, that's my personal position based on the question that was put to me. Mr. Leader, I think the other question was put to you about the
beach renourishment. So I know the caller is passionate about that. I think when we speak about coastal erosion and beach renourishment, it's not just 7 Mile Beach that has been affected. We've seen it in the Barcus area. We've seen it in Northside at the public beach. We've seen it in the Brack. If you go over to by Carib Sand and stuff, the sand is moving in towards the channel and filling in the channel. So as the weather patterns change and as time goes on, we will see the beach coming and going. And yes, I have been down there, and I've gotten and spoken to persons there as well to see that, and we're thankful that we have some beach returning there. But when you look at the size of the beach that has returned there, one good storm this summer could remove that again. I think I look at it from a different perspective, and I think if the government could somehow partner with the private sector to actually take this opportunity to add sand to that, to ensure, while at the same time, any opportunity we have in future planning applications, either restrict the use of seawalls within it. I would love to see us go back to the vegetation line, which they can prescribe going back to the last surveys. And also any opportunities in any redevelopments. And majority of the condos on that particular part of 7 Mile Beach are all now moving towards redevelopment. And at that time, if we can get them to provide further setbacks, it will only enhance it. So I think we have a great opportunity now that we do have some sand there to continue to build on that, and in future developments to ensure that we have the proper setbacks, that we won't see this again.
Okay, I think we have time enough for one more caller. Let's grab that caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. A couple of quick questions. You guys are elected representatives of our island. Why it is that we don't have any sort of control over this enormous amount of development? Gentlemen, this is an island, a unique island that everybody practically wants to have a little piece, or at least they want to visit. They're not coming in here to see a concrete jungle. What are we creating? Something that no one is want to come to visit this island. This is my contention that I've been speaking about so many years, and they're just going more and more every day. I speak to you guys because I think you guys have the island interest at heart. The last comment I want to make is about Mount Trashmore. For the want of a better word, it is something I call self-inflicted. Why? Do we have to make more laws to tell people that you have to dispose of your garbage in a proper manner instead of putting gas containers, everything in the same thing and just throw it in the dump? It should be mandatory that you separate your containers, whether it's food, whether it's batteries or whatever. It should be mandatory. So my time is not so much I realize, so that's my little piece, but another day we'll have a more detailed conversation. Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
caller.
caller.
Miss Susan, you want to check the WhatsApp call? There may be a call coming through on that we can still grab. WhatsApp caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller.
Somebody there? Good morning.
Okay.
I can hear.
For some reason,
faintly
they're not hearing us. Gentlemen, we still have about 4 minutes left. I want to give you an opportunity for some wrap up. There's a question here, but I'm not. Well, it just say the person was curious to know whether or not there was any one particular member of the Legislative Assembly that may have stopped DART from purchasing the dump. And they had a question in relation to that. I don't know if any of you are aware of that.
I can't answer that.
Okay.
I know on the previous call, to answer him about controlling the development, that's a national development plan. Yes. We haven't had a review of that since 1997. The framework has been in place since 2021, or before 2021 when I was a minister. I heard that a few small tweaks have been made. We went from 5 zones to now 9 zones, and then I heard 11 the other day, so it's including the sister islands. But yeah, this is another one, we just need to get that going, because as long as the old National Development Plan is in place, people can develop on that law. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to stop them, because that is a law that guides development, and it is now 28 years old. And also to say on the recycling, yes, everybody should recycle, but we also have to provide the tools. Not everybody has a car. So how do you get your bottles, and how do you get your trash and all those things that they want us to separate to these sites that are at the super? You got 9 sites, I believe, across the island. So are we expecting people to take the bus with their garbage to go to recycle it? I mean, we have to think this through. Not everyone has a car. Not everybody has a truck. And so, we have to provide the tools somehow. I'm not saying for free either, but we have to provide the tools and the ability for people to encourage them to recycle. OC, let me go first. I want to say a happy birthday to a constituent, Miss Jennifer Stewart. Wishing her a very happy birthday today. And also I want to join, I think the deputy did it earlier, Miss Kutsi, in wishing her a happy 90th, I think it is today, 90th birthday party. I hope to get by to see her later. Might take a little surprise for her. We'll see the youth arm. I want, once again, last week I said I encourage persons, if young people are out there listening between ages of 17 and 31 and you want to be a part of the youth arm, you can email us at youngprogressives@ppm.ky. That's youngprogressives@ppm.ky. 17 to 31. please shoot us. If you don't fit in that age group but you're close, email us anyhow, and we'll get you involved. I want to join in my deputy in congratulating and thanking the police for the excellent work done. That sends a message, a strong message out there that, you know, if you commit these blatant robberies and break the laws, we will catch you. And congratulations to them on that. I also want to, on Friday, I was so caught up with the landfill fire that I did not get an opportunity to call in to wish all of you here at Radio Cayman your 50th anniversary. Happy birthday to Radio Cayman, and thank you for serving us for 50 years. Me personally will remember my Saturday mornings listening to the stories and all the broadcasts that helped shape my future. And of course, I can never forget and thank the staff then and now for the excellent work done during Hurricane Ivan. Radio Cayman was a real source of inspiration, I would say, to people. There were persons that weren't sure if they were going to live through the night, and the only comfort they had was Radio Cayman while it was on.
Yeah.
And I would also like to let the public know in Georgetown in particular that on tomorrow evening, Thursday the 23rd at 6 p.m. at the Georgetown Town Hall, that is the Constitution Hall, that the Breast Cancer Foundation will be holding an early detection breast cancer awareness night. And it's just for it's for the Georgetown community. I'm sure they wouldn't turn back anyone, but especially we want to encourage our constituents in Georgetown to come by. They will be doing tests. There will be a presentation on cancer awareness, health checks, self-breast examination and demonstrations for men and women, by the way. And they'll also have refreshments and things available. So I would encourage everyone, that's tomorrow evening, come out to Constitution Hall, the Georgetown Town Hall at 6 o'clock for a breast cancer awareness night. And I think that is it for me, OC. Thank you for having us on, and look forward to being back again next week.
I'd like to add to chime in on that last comment with regards to breast cancer. And thank you for mentioning men, because I have a good friend who is a male who has breast cancer. So men can't ignore it as well. It might not be common, but I have a family member who was diagnosed with breast cancer, and as it happens, once you're become aware of it, you start, as my former boss would say, your spider senses go up, and you become aware of how common it is within our community, not just here but worldwide. So huge, important. So please, ladies and gentlemen, do go out to that. And with that, I'll say I look forward to being back next week.
Certainly.
OC.
Yep.
And the final thing I will say is the listening tour continues on May 7th, yes. But the National Development Plan, I've said it here before, as has all of us in here, is hugely important. All the things we want to solve. We complain about the individuals who build seawalls. They do that because it's within the law, and the approval is provided by the government. So I can't castigate them. They're within the law, and the approval for the walls are with. Change the National Development Plan. Get it updated.
Okay, gentlemen, we've got to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Quickly, just to say, I'm going to take this last second to wish again one more time to all my constituents whose happy birthday is today. Miss Lillian McPhail, Miss Lucille Bastillo, happy birthday. And to my daughter, I'm going to be a total dad today. I love you so much, Pumpkin. Daddy's so proud of you. Happy 70th and all those
17th?
17th. Sorry.
Happy birthday.
Oh my God. Way too fast. 17th. And for all those drivers on the road, be careful because she's coming. With that being said, I want to highlight the last thing, which is a very important report has just come out, and we want to hear from the public, which is the Cayman Islands Public Affordable Housing Policy and 10-Year Strategy report. It's just been laid. We've been waiting on this for a while because housing is an issue. So we're going to be talking about that at the next meeting here in Radio Cayman. And I want to say, Mr. Connor and Ms. Susan, thank you so much for your
hospitality.
And for the listening audience, have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. God bless you, and thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, for making yourselves available. Thank all those persons who sent in messages or called in as well. Don't forget to join Mr. Charles Glidden Shallow at 12:15 for talk today. Have a great day, and as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three wonderful, beautiful Cayman Islands.
For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
This is the People's Radio Station.